Yep. All right. Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh. You're okay. Whoa!
He's an acrobat.
Got him. All right. Nice fish.
Nice fish.
Looks like a chunk, you bet.
That's a chunk. Wow, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that one, guys.
That's a chunk.
That's a big fish.
That's a beauty.
Woo! Orange worm right there. Howdy folks, Cal Kellogg here. It is March 16th. It is time for a Northern and Central California trout and salmon fishing report. So let's get right into it. I just got back from 3 days of guiding, 4 days of fishing up at Collins Lake. Overall, the fishing was very good. But man, I battled some massive winds, especially on Thursday. I had wind that was probably gusting to 30 up on the lake. And that kind of hampered our efforts in terms of the areas of the lake where we could fish and also in what the fish were physically doing throughout the day. Let me explain that a little bit, at least the part about the fish. Surface temperature right now, first thing in the morning, is right at 49 to 50 degrees. The best fishing occurs when the surface temperature starts to rise, when it gets up to 52, 53, maybe even 54 degrees. Now, that is a surface temperature rise. The temperature isn't rising down deep, but when you start to get that surface rise, get back into shallows, the fishing can be very, very good. Problem is when there's a lot of wind, you get a lot of surface current, a lot of upwelling, and you'll see the surface temperature stall at about 51 degrees. You will still catch fish, but you're not going to get that intense kind of wide open bite action that you get on a day that has, you know, winds, say, below 15 miles an hour. So that's kind of what we were dealing with. We got good trout every single day. We got a nice lightning trout this week. We had rainbows up to about 4.5 pounds. My partner, Wes Ward, he's out on the water right now. It's Saturday morning as I film this. Much better conditions, much less wind, lots of sun. So I'm expecting him to do very well this weekend, and I'll be back on the water next week. Top lures at Collins Lake for us have been primarily orange offerings, trigger minnows, trout Trix worms, and orange metalhead trolling flies. I did pick up some fish on Wednesday on a crawler behind a blade, but that action kind of tapered off. And since I was in that wind, I was having problems with speed control. I need to pull lures that I control across, you know, a broad spectrum of speeds, because going into the wind, I'd be going 2 miles an hour. When I made my turn, I'd be going 3 miles an hour. And that's not real conducive for running a Dodger. Overall, I would give Collins Lake a B+ right now overall, because, you know, again, I dealt with that wind. It's going to be an A+ very soon though. Lots of trout plants are taking place, and as most of you guys out there in YouTube land know, the best month on Collins is the month of April. I'm nearly booked up. I do have a few spots left in April, so if you want to get out on the water with me, learn the finer points of catching trout at Collins Lake and beyond, get on up to FHSfishing.com and book your spot now before they're all gone. I think I only have 2 seats left in March, a few left in April. So anyway, moving on. Let's move on to other things. Lake Comanche, that's the other really exciting trout bite. And again, April is the best month at Comanche, just like it's the best month at Collins and a lot of other foothill fisheries. April really represents the apex of foothill and valley trout fishing because we have the maximum amount of planters in the lake, and the temperatures are getting into that prime zone, that, you know, that 56 to 66 kind of degree range when the trout are most active. At Comanche, the guys I'm talking to, they're catching trout on a variety of offerings. Guys are pulling speedy shiners, and they're pulling my speed spoons, particularly the white speed spoons, and the orange speed spoons have been working very well. Trolled anywhere from 2.7 to 3.5 miles an hour. When that action is not taking place, guys are slowing down. Threaded crawlers are working, but the FHS trolling grubs and trolling grubs from other companies are working very, very well. I feel like I have the best trolling grubs out there. My trolling grub kit is absolutely dynamite. But anyhow, trolling grubs, other soft plastics are working well when you have to slow down. But, you know, if you're near Lake Comanche, it is a great place to go. And I forgot to mention the depth at Collins and the depth range at Comanche is very similar. The best fishing is taking place in the top 15 feet of the water column. For me this week, the #1 depth was 8 to 10 feet, and you're going to find the same thing over at Lake Comanche. Well, guys, Comanche and Collins Lake are my top picks for trout right now, but they are not the only lakes that are kicking out trout. Pardee's offering good fishing. A lot of the smaller lakes are offering good fishing, like Rollins Lake, which is kicking out both planted rainbows and wild browns. Englebright Reservoir is kicking out some very nice high quality rainbows, wild rainbows, big square tails. So if you have a favorite small to medium sized lake near you and it's at lower elevation, by all means get out there, check it out, and you're likely going to find some pretty good trout action. Remember my basic trout fishing philosophy for spring fishing here in California. You know, it's great that we have the Sierra Nevada mountains right there, and we also have great valley and foothill lakes to fish before the snow melts. So what you want to do is exploit those low elevation lakes, the valley level lakes, the foothill lakes, exploit the spring fishing at those lakes until the temperature starts to rise, then start going up in elevation. And that way you can enjoy that robust, intense spring fishing for 2.5 months. You can start out at valley level fishing at, you know, Lake Comanche, and you can end up at Lake Davis at an elevation of, you know, 5,700 plus feet 2 months later, and you can enjoy spring fishing, you know, right on through into early summer. That's it for trout. Let's change gear a little bit. Let's talk salmon, and let's start off with Folsom Lake. That king salmon bite, the landlocked king salmon bite at Folsom, is getting better and better, both in terms of size and numbers. #1 bait out there is a 6-inch chrome colored fisheye dodger teamed with a white shad tube tipped with either mackerel or anchovy. Put that tube about 10 inches behind that blade. The bite does come and go throughout the day. So put in your time. Top areas, you know, are all in the main body, both sides of the peninsula and out in front of the dam, out in front of Folsom Point. All those areas can be good. When you find a fish, grind on them. And when they start biting, you're going to have very good action on fish that range up to 18 plus inches. They're going to keep on getting bigger. They're growing fast right now. By June, we're going to be seeing fish pretty consistently in that 18 to 20 plus inch range. And kings that size are a ton of fun to catch. They rip it off the downrigger. They jump, they run, they bulldog, they do it all. It's going to be a great summer at Folsom Lake. We're going to have to deal with the water skiers and the jet skiers and all that. But the fish are going to be there. They're going to be biting, and we're going to have a lot of fun out there on Folsom. While we're talking about salmon, let's finish up with kokanee. If you want limits of small kokanee, Bullard's Bar, it's producing. It's always producing very good fishing. If you want big kokanee, you either need to go south or north. The best kokanee bite in the state in terms of size is going to take place at New Maloney's Reservoir. They're already getting fish there over 17 inches long, okay? Pink, orange, spinners, hoochies, 4-inch blades. That's what's working. You want the shoe peg corn, take some different scents of, you know, different flavors of Procure with you, because they can be fickle from day to day. But if you want a really big kokanee, they're going to see kokanee up to and beyond 20 inches at New Maloney's this year. The other good large kokanee bite is getting started up at Whiskeytown Reservoir. Whiskeytown is a great lake. It's always full. It's usually clear. And my friend and fellow guide, Kirk Portocarrero of Sac River Fishing, he's been fishing Whiskeytown already, and he's reporting kokanee to 15 inches. Same basic philosophy on baits up there, guys. Pink, orange, 4-inch blades, tip them with corn. Start out with the bright, bold stuff early in the morning. Then when that bite starts to taper off, whether you're at any kokanee lake, Whiskeytown, New Maloney's, Bullard's, whatever, when that bite starts to taper off later in the morning, just cut down on the amount of flash and vibration. Go to a subtler presentation. The bite won't be as intense, but you can catch fish, you know, in those midday glassy conditions. And remember, kokanee fishing is great early in the morning. Very often when you get breeze in the afternoon right on into the evening, that bite reforms again, and they can get very aggressive right before evening, you know, right before the sun goes, you know, down below the hills. So that's about the size of things right now. I'm going to be showing you guys how to use FHS tackle to catch kokanee. I have some very solid kokanee gear, including my Sidewinder and Diamondback Dodgers and my turbo flashers, very underutilized for kokanee fishing. Anyhow, I'm out of here for now. If you're looking for gear, if you're looking to book a guided trip, I'm just about booked up at Collins. I have a few dates available in April still. Get on up to fhsfishing.com. We'll hook you up with what you need, whether it's a lead core rod, trolling flies, Dodgers, a trip, all that stuff and more. I want to thank you guys for all the support. And I will join you here again on YouTube real soon. We'll be talking fishing. But from the bottom of my heart, thanks for all the support for both the channel and our store, guys. Guys are awesome, and we are going to do nothing but grow in 2024. Thanks a ton. I'm going to get on with my hike and get home. I got a bunch of weed whacking to do. What a way to spend your day off, weed whacking. Anyhow, I'm Kel Kellogg. Thanks a lot, guys.